What's up, guys? Rogue Bludger here with Unashamed Gaming, bringing you my last gameplay from the Black Ops 3 beta today before the game comes out. This is my favorite submachine gun to use in the whole beta. Is what I'm using in this video, the VMP, and it was a lot like the PDW. If you remember from Black Ops 2, I think it was a good rate of fire, like the Vesper as far as the rate of fire goes. It would kill people really well up close, and but it had a little bit better range, I felt like. I don't know, I just loved using this gun. Now, this being said, I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the gun, but I am going to refer to it some. Today, the EU versus North America showcase match took place in Paris, France. This was, of course, Black Ops 3 had professional players from EU, Europe, and America come and play. And they played 5 games, all new maps that I haven't seen before. They played Uplink, they played CTF, or not CTF, they played Uplink, Search, and Hardpoint. And so I'm going to mostly talk about that today. I was sad to not see the VMP be used. I saw the Vesper a good bit. It looks like it's gotten better since the beta. I saw a new burst submachine gun, and that looks like it's going to be very good. A lot of people were using that, and I want to say I saw a lot of different guns, both ARs and subs. I even saw some snipers being used on one of the search and destroys. I guess the search and destroy, but I want to really emphasize the protect and ban system that I saw being used, because it was very, very key in these games. Every single game, people were using different guns because of the protect and ban system. Now, the M8 got banned in every single game that I saw except for the last one. It looks like it's still pretty OP. The patch notes, or not necessarily patch notes, but the notes they sent out with an email said that they changed it, they nerfed it a little bit, but to me it didn't look too much weaker than before. The last game, nobody banned it, and that's because it got protected with the very first pick, and then a lot of people used it when it was protected. And that seems to be exactly what I was worried about. You know, it's a gun that forces somebody to waste a pick on, a protect or a ban on every single game, because every single game it was banned until the very first person, I believe it was Study, the pro player Study, picked it to protect. And that's I think that's a problem. I just don't think, if you're going to have that in the game, that system, there shouldn't be a weapon that everybody bans or protects, that every single game somebody has to waste a pick on, because that just kind of limits it. That limits their system, their protect and ban system a little bit, which I don't think they want to do that. So that gun, again, it might change again. This is not it's pretty close to the full game, I guess. The release is in 10 days. Well, more like 9 days now, but I don't think it's I think there's still a little bit of tweaking that they'll probably do between now and when the game comes out, because I'm sure they want to get it right for us on game day. That being said, there were a lot of guns that I did not recognize being used. There were several ARs and several subs that I didn't recognize the name of, that weren't in the beta, that were being used in the game. A lot of different guns being used. The Kudo was one of the big ones, the Vesper, and that burst gun. I don't remember off the top of my head what it was called, the burst submachine gun. I didn't see any XR2s. I also didn't notice if it was getting banned a lot or not. But of course the M8, like I said, was banned or protected every time. I also saw some bans of some weird stuff. Like one time somebody banned grip as an attachment, so that means nobody could use grip. And I also saw primary gunfighter was banned once. So one attachment or I guess 2 attachments on your primary gun was all you could have. So nothing past that, which is interesting. So it's going to be really interesting to see how players use that. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to be focusing a lot on competitive standpoints of things in this commentary, because that's what pertains to me, that's what I'm interested in. And that's what this whole kind of showcase match was about. The Codcaster looked great, not hard to follow really at all. There's options to see their class. Everything that you could really want in Codcaster is already there. It's not the kind of thing we've had in the past where we have to wait halfway through the game is done before it's implemented. It's already there, which makes sense to me. Arena mode was talked about. Arena mode is going to be available on day 1 of the game. So in the past, with League or with ranked play, we've had to wait until the game was farther along to get it developed. But day 1 is going to have it. It's going to be a beta season for a month. So until the 1st of December, it's basically like a beta arena season. So you're going to have a chance to get used to it and everything. And that's for them to kind of tweak it and finalize it to where when the season 1 comes out of Arena, it's everything it needs to be. And I think that's good. They did say that if you say you spend all your time ranking up in the beta, and then the stats will be reset for Arena after that. But they did say that you'll get something towards leveling up in the main thing. That was a little hazy on how that works, but it sounded like a good thing. Another thing is a new specialist was revealed, and I saw the weapon was a flamethrower, so that's kind of interesting. It looked very powerful. Basically an instant kill up close, though, is the thing. So you can spray it, like a flamethrower, but it was very powerful up close, but it didn't have much range. So that could be interesting for games like Hardpoint. I saw a lot of abilities being used as well, interestingly, especially in Uplink. The running ability, whatever that was called, where you run fast, that was used, and excuse me. And the ability to send out multiple clones of yourself was used a lot in Search. And, some of these things were just interesting, I think, to say the least. Each game really was different. It didn't look the same. It wasn't like Advanced Warfare where you've got, the same guns every game, because each game was different with the protects and the bans. The maps played a part. It's not just a 2-gun game anymore. It's going to be, 5 or 6 or 7 even guns. Basically every gun you can get good with is just going to make you a better player. And I think, at least for a competitive standpoint, the necessity to grind the game is going to be a lot bigger in this game than it has in the past, because there's so many different options of things you can do, so many different specialists, so many different things like that are going to require you to be able to be a very versatile player if you want to be good. And you draft specialists, so you can have the same specialist character as somebody on the other team, but no 2 specialists can be on the same team, if that makes sense. So going down your team, you draft who you want as your specialists and their abilities and all those sorts of things. So you can't have, a whole team of batteries, or a whole team of, Seraphs, or whatever it may be. It has to be 4 different people, which is also interesting. For different roles in the game, you might draft a player that plays better to whatever role you're playing. And I think the guns attest to the importance of roles in this game as well. It's going back to the more Black Ops 2 style, where you've got subs, that are really good in hard points, subs that are, just all-around good subs. Maybe there's better subs for up close, like the Scorpion, for example, in Black Ops 2 was really good for really close. But the MSMC was still pretty good up close, but better than the Scorpion at any sorts of range. So you've got the Razorback now is more of the MSMC as I see it. It's not quite as powerful long range. There's a need for an AR role still. So you've got the Razorback as the MSMC. You've got maybe the Vesper as like the Scorpion, a close-up gun. It's a very good gun if you're accurate with it, for sure. And then you've got ARs. Of course, I talked about the MA. It's going to be OP, I think, until they deal with that a little bit, and it might stay that way. But with the Protect and Ban, you may never actually see it. You've got various ARs that are going to come into play, and people that play different types of roles are going to need to use different types of guns. Maps themselves are going to come into play. Various close-quarter maps, I think, are going to kind of change what guns that you use. And I think that's all really good. I think as much as you can make the game versatile is a good thing. You want to be able to make each player their own person. You don't want to... Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? You don't want to have to, use all this different stuff, or use the same stuff every time. Each time a player can make themselves, customize their class more to their play style is a good thing. In addition to that, let me talk about the two different types of arena mode. So you've got arena mode, and then you've got like the pro arena mode. And basically the difference is in pro you've got everything that they would play with. In the pros you've got protects and bans and all that stuff. Maybe if you're playing with your team of 4 and you really want a good practice, you go into pro mode. But if you're by yourself or something, you just want to practice with a class or a gun or get good with it, you go into the other mode. I don't remember what it's called. It's everything's the same, but there's no protect and bans, so you can use whatever you want basically, which kind of makes it a little bit better for, maybe if you're by yourself, you just want to say you just want to play with an M8 class, you just want to get good with an M8 class, and you don't want to worry about it getting banned. You can go into that and get good with that and practice with it there. In addition to that, there's of course the Activision Treyarch like league thing with the tournaments they're having and how it plays in the COD champs. Optic Scumpy uploaded a good video about all that, and so I'm gonna say go watch that if you are interested in more about that, because it goes pretty in depth, more so than I can really explain right now. And it's all good stuff for competitive players, though. One thing I will mention is that the ESL has picked up Call of Duty, so they're the ones that do PC games primarily, Counter-Strike, Dota, all that good stuff, and they do it well. Those scenes are huge, and it's largely due to ESL. And now that they've picked up Call of Duty, I think that's nothing but a good thing for those of us who play competitively. It means another tournament. It means more tournaments. It means somebody besides MLG is running them, which can be argued that might be a good thing. What with MLG.TV versus Twitch, I think having Call of Duty off of Twitch has stunted its growth a little bit. Twitch is a good marketplace for viewers. But all this being said, I'm very excited for the game. It looks great. I had a lot of fun watching it, and I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing it. They've tweaked some stuff, they've added a bunch of stuff, and I think there's still some stuff we haven't seen yet that we won't see till release, and that's really great, if you ask me. So this gameplay is wrapping up here. Again, this was my favorite sub from the beta, and that may change completely when the game comes out. I'm going to be grinding it hard. I will not be getting it on release night, unfortunately, so it'll be a day or two before you see any gameplay videos from me on that. But look for the montage, the beta montage, coming up on this channel next week, probably Monday before the game comes out. It's going to be great, guys. I put a lot of work into it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share. Leave your thoughts if you saw the showcase match today, all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys next time.